I get it. You're tired of reading line after line of subtitles. Even though I love subbed, it can be a refreshing change of pace to watch an anime in dubbed. And no, not all of it is complete utter garbage. So to help you on your journey, here's my list of the top 10 best dubbed anime to watch, part 3. Number 10, the devil is a part-timer. In dubbed, the made-up language at the start of the anime sounded real, whereas it sounded more like pure fucking nonsense in the sub. Although, I would be lying if I said it wasn't fucking hilarious watching them shout nonsense. The side characters like Shiro sounded more like a royal ass in the dub, which fits his nature and conveys his personality more compared to the uptight prick voice he has in the sub. Unless, you know, you're into that sort of thing.
Yes, sire, I do!
It's Mao.
As you wish, sire.
Mao da. Kashikomarimashita. Kono Arushir.
Number 9, Black Butler. Although the accents may be cheesy, which is probably an understatement, it does feel a bit more immersive since the story does take place in Victorian England.
I'm afraid once something is truly lost, sir, that one can never get it back again.
The side characters also include an interesting dynamic because they have different accents, including a Spanish one for Damian, who got pranked so bad that he'll be scarred for life.
Manor is like a giant maze. I can't even find the droid.
Number 8, LINEBARRELS of Iron. Both versions are somewhat similar when it comes to most of these side characters. However, the dub gives the main character a bit more of a cringy aspect.
Because I am justice.
Now you might ask, well, wouldn't that hurt the anime? Nope, because it plays to the strength as the character is supposed to be a cringy and self-righteous piece of shit. The acting is just outright better in some moments when KENICHI calls for LINEBARREL. Number 7, AQUARION. For most of these side characters like Gin, the voices are similar in tone and performance. What makes it such a good dubbed anime boils down to Apollo's voice. The dub makes him sound more like a savage and does a better job voice acting during intense moments where it can make or break the tension of a scene.
Go, AQUARION!
Go, AQUARION! Gin also sounds more like a goofy nerd in the dub, which fits his character more than the sub, conveying an uptight prick.
They cannot be broken.
Number 6, Tokyo Ghoul. Both the sub and dub are amazing, but in different ways. Kanaki's voice is higher pitched and sounds more like a shy boy. The dub is deeper and conveys a slightly more savage tone. It sounds weird, but I prefer Kanaki's subbed voice at the start and prefer the dubbed near the end and during the second season.
You taste foul.
Honestly, you can go with either one and get a great experience. The side characters also have great voices in both, with none of them sticking out. Number 5, Soul Eater. It's not often you can see the dub has more emotion and is more dynamic than the sub. However, it seems like Soul Eater defies all logic. Most of the voices are equal or better in the dub, with one of the biggest differences being in Maka's voice. Honestly, it was really bad and lacked lots of emotion compared to the dub.
Mine, your soul is mine.
Idiot! What were you thinking?
With Death the Kid's voice also being funnier since his voice is more dynamic and sounds more like an irritated, symmetrical perfectionist freak.
なんてことだ。俺は醜い豚野郎だ。なんで髪だけこんな色なんだ。俺は小汚いゴミ食べ的存在だ。
You're right, I'm an abomination. I'm filthy and dirty and unbalanced. Why is there only one set of stripes? I'm garbage, asymmetrical garbage.
Where you going?
Don't you worry! I'm coming back!
Number 4, Panty and Stalking with Garterbelt. If you're looking for a good dubbed anime, look no further. However, just to be clear, no, this anime is not Powerpuff Girls. It's rated R. Now, before you get the FBI on my ass, consider the following. I didn't make this anime, I'm just a messenger, so put down the phone and listen. The anime is very unique compared to most anime, from the art style down to its grotesque humor.
But he was just a plumber.
So true, and my pipes are totally clean.
The reason why I prefer the dub is that the voice actors do a better job with its vulgar style and sound more laid back compared to the sub. Garterbelt also has much more of a natural voice, and they curse a lot more in the dub, which is a huge plus.
Contrary to popular belief, you are not here to collect men or sugar. So focus and stop acting like fat-ass hoes. Nice try, slugger.
Number 3, BACCANO is known as one of the best dubbed anime for a reason. The voice actors match the time and theme of gangsters, giving it a much more immersive experience than the subtitled version. In fact, Funimation had one of its longest casting processes in history, just so they could collect the perfect dialect and accents to match that of how Americans sounded in the 1930s.
What's the damage?
A gambling parlor and a speako downtown.
Number 2, Danganronpa. There's only one name you need to hear in order for you to automatically know that the dub is far superior. That name is Greg Ayers. Not many people have such a unique voice that can perfectly fit the Build-A-Bear reject. Honestly, the voice of Monokuma in the subtitled version doesn't fit nearly as well and ends up sounding incredibly awkward. I also like how the dub changed the dialogue to be a lot funnier.
I know what you're all thinking, and no, I am not a high-tech Build-A-Bear reject. I am the principal of this illustrious institution, Monokuma!
ぬぐるみじゃないよ、僕はモノクマだよ。お前らのこの学園の学園長なのだ。
Not to mention that the majority of voices fit the characters much more, like Miyagi, who sounds much more like a shy kid in the sub, which doesn't fit his upright personality, whereas the dub gives him a much deeper voice, which fits significantly better.
Looks like that's all she wrote. So much for despair. Hope wins out.
僕たちは負けない。希望がある限り負けないんだ。
Number 1, Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple. Hands down, this is one of the best dubbed anime ever made, especially when it comes down to Kenichi. Similarly to the dub of Linebarrels of Iron, his dub voice sounds more like a naive person trying to be a hero. In sub, his voice is too high-pitched.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get stronger.
I also like the side characters more like Nijima because his voice sounds more like an alien evil freak, with his voice acting being overall better with it sounding more dynamic. So this concludes my video on the top 10 best dubbed anime to watch. Part 3. If you're a fan of Hunter x Hunter, you need to check out my previous video where I made some insane edits. We even went as far as to making our own custom animations and adding some crazy effects.